Good morning. Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. It is Tuesday, July the 25th. Great to have you with us on the show today. It's Tasty Tuesday, and we got another special guest as well. But first, I want to thank everyone for joining us on this Tuesday. We're live on Facebook and YouTube right now, and we are just about every morning that HCC is in session, live at 10 a.m. But you can always catch us in social media anytime. Look for us as Houston Community College District on our Facebook page. We're on YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, and we're also on our cable channel, HCC. Our guest, Amanda Materre, is an educator, STEM Integration Specialist, and former HCC Community Learning Instructor. Welcome back to the show, Amanda. How are you? Let's see if we can get you to unmute your mic. You there? Amanda? Okay, we'll check in with Amanda in about 10 minutes. So Amanda, stick around. We'll be with you in about 10 minutes. But first, we're going to take you out to our central campus. In fact, our culinary building right now. We welcome a chef who's part of the HCC family in a couple of ways. She's related to an HCCTV colleague.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so happy to be here.
Okay, Amanda,
yes,
good
to
have you.
Me?
We can hear you. We're having a bit of a broadband
connection,
but we're going to check in with you in a few minutes, okay? Okay. All right, we'll get Amanda back on in a few minutes. But Chef, welcome to the show. We've got Chef Dubraska Wawi. She is an HCC culinary instructor, local caterer, and Master Chef Latino finalist. Good morning, Chef. How are you?
Good morning, guys. I'm doing great. So happy to be back with you all.
So you graduated from HCC's culinary school, and I'll come now full circle because you're on the other side helping our students out. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, actually, I graduated on both pastry and culinary. I did both programs here and I run my business. But right now I'm back here as another student because that's the beauty of HCC. You guys keep improving the program and you offer this summer a charcuterie class that just fits so well with my catering business. So I'm here learning and also helping some of the other students that are still doing the associate program. So
now you're actually at the culinary. You're at the culinary building right now.
Yes.
Maybe you can give us a quick show of what's behind you, because right now
absolutely my pleasure to show this beautiful building that actually I was one of the few who kind of came here when it opened up, because I started at South Main and now we are in this beautiful facility. I don't know if you guys can get a good look. It's a state-of-the-art facility, beautiful glass building with all the equipment that any school or culinary school and pastry school in the U.S. will die for. I want to highlight all the wonderful things that are happening here. Our wonderful instructors in both culinary and pastry. I have here a couple of the students.
Hi there. Hey there. How's it going?
They are fantastic and they are joining us today here in the broadcast. I have here Chef Doris.
Oh, yeah.
And we are in charcuterie class. So you have here.
So you got a lot going on there.
So we have a good variety of people. You can see how our lab is set up. We have everything that you can desire in a culinary building.
So let me ask you a little bit about yourself.
Ovens. Let me get out of here because the noise doesn't let me hear you guys. So I'm going back to our beautiful Ortega lobby.
Chef, let me ask you, tell me about your love of cooking, your travels abroad, and you've got a catering company as well. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I have cooked all my life since I was a child. My mom couldn't get me out of that kitchen, so she kind of gave up and got me a little stool to be able to reach the counters and the stove. And I have always wanted to do that, but I ended up doing law because, well, 40 years ago, nobody thought of a culinary career for a woman. So I did what every good daughter does, and very obediently did something else. I married my husband.
Right.
And we started traveling because he's in the oil and gas business. And long and behold, to make the story short, we stay in 6 different countries, if I include Venezuela. And that impacted my way of cooking. I think for many people, traveling or living overseas is about seeing places. For me, it was more about the flavors, tasting things. So once my kids got older, I told my husband, that's it. I'm going to pursue my dream. Also, it happened that my family came from Venezuela. You all know the situation over there. 4 people as refugees, basically. And I said, I need to do something to help them out. And that's how Dubraska Delights was born. I had no training, culinary training whatsoever, just my empiric experience. And I am so glad that I came here, because you need both. You don't only need your practical experience, but you need also that technical, that preparation that helps you really take your experience and your cuisine and what you offer to your clients to a different level.
Let me ask you this. How did you, you competed in Master Chef Latino, made it to the finals. Congrats on that. How was that experience?
Stressful. Oh my goodness. That is, that is being in a commercial kitchen with other people that want to also kill you for whatever you're doing well and they're not doing right. So it was an experience of a lifetime. I am grateful for that, but I wouldn't do it again.
Wouldn't do it again, huh?
No way. No,
you work with cooking for a cause with common threads as well. What is that exactly?
Well, Common Threads is a nonprofit organization, and working nonprofit is not something new for me. I've been doing that for many years. I did it with La Leche League International, with Operation Smile as well. While I was in Mexico, I wrote a bilingual cookbook, and with that, we did a full mission of surgeries in Mexico. So now Common Threads is like my part-time gig. I love teaching. I think that is cooking not only, but probably passing whatever little or much I know. And not only cooking, but also having a healthy approach to food and eating. So that fit perfectly. We work with the school districts. We work with groups at risk. We work with the Houston Library as well. And it's a whole session of 8 classes, if it is the small bites, like snacks for kids. And there is also cooking class for adults and for families. Basically, we teach them how to maybe have a better life through eating or making better choices.
You're currently taking a charcuterie class over at HCC. What have you learned so far that you plan on using in your business? What's the most unusual thing you've learned about this class so far?
I think it has a lot very similar to what I did during the my course here at school with Garmanger, but it goes in deeper. More products are being made. I think I love the fact that we made brajola, which is, it gives me the basic knowledge to even make prosciutto.
Oh, wow.
Prosciutto needs more time to cure, so 12 weeks was not enough to get it done. But I got the basic knowledge to apply those things into whatever I want to do. Yes, we make here sausages, but I have in mind bringing that and putting my own spin to it. I love blood sausages. I'm a Latin woman, you know, so we eat morcillas. So is that for me is I learn here, yes, but I take what I learn and I make it my own. I use the basic and the rules of the game, but I make them work for me later on, and that's what I'm doing.
Well, that's interesting because when you think charcuterie, you think that you go out and buy the products, you go out and buy the prosciutto or the salami or whatever you're making. But you're telling me you guys are learning how to make it on your own, correct?
Everything, and the charcuterie class is not only about making like cold cuts or cured meats, but it's also about pickling.
Right.
Because that's part some cheese making, simple cheese making, some crackers, which also goes into the realm of probably pastry, but that also they're all components of a good charcuterie board. So I think it's amazing.
Well,
And
I'm
for
looking
me,
forward.
learning is important. You know, you
I want to
never
try
stop
one of
learning.
your. I want to try one of your charcuterie boards in the future. Chef Dubraska Wawi, she's the chef and owner of Dubraska's Delights and finalist in Master Chef Latino. Thank you for joining us this morning. I know you're in the class. We appreciate you stepping out and visiting with us this morning.
Thank you for having me. And remember that you can follow me on Instagram, on Facebook, even on TikTok, and now on Threads. So you have it all. It's Dubraskas.delights. Find me there. All my recipes and the things that I'm doing are posted there. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're going to have all of your information in our social media post after the show so people can follow you. Thank you for joining us, Chef.
Thank you.
Have a good day. All right. We're going to check in once again. We've got Amanda Materre. She's a STEM Integration Specialist and former HCC Community Learning Instructor. Good to see you, Amanda.
Good morning, Todd. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for coming back on the show. So let's start with the overall definition of STEM and some common misconceptions there.
So STEM is just real world application. We often think that you have to be an astrophysicist, a rocket scientist, nuclear engineering, but really it's being able to connect real world skills, things that you've learned. For my students, it was playing tag to talk about the Newton's 3 laws of motion. We talked about how a playground was engineered. So when they use the swings, now they understand things a little bit deeper. And a lot of misconceptions with STEM is it only pertains to those for, the acronym science, technology, engineering, math. And it's so much deeper than that. There's STEM within literacy. You use the engineering design process to even do writing. So I think, it's something that everybody can do. It's not just limited to a specific skill set.
One of the things I've noticed over the past several years is more of a drive to get more women involved in STEM. Obviously, that's very important. Tell us your thoughts towards that. And then also the fact that, HCC has a very strong engineering program. And it's a well-known fact that we are approaching a point in this country where engineers are retiring and we're not backfilling those slots. Maybe you could talk about those two things.
Absolutely. I think the most important, keyword with STEM and me is equity and diversity and inclusion. When I tell people that I'm into ed tech and, cybersecurity, they're automatically shocked, because you don't expect that, I guess. But one thing that we need to do is just make sure that we have, more people of color and then more women in these STEM roles for those different, skills in the different parts of the industry, because we all have things that we can offer. And when you think about providing these spaces and places for people, you want to be around skills and industries that help you win. Right. And I think that's the biggest piece of it, not just use STEM as a buzzword, but do things that actually put things together and help you to be successful. So.
And do you see us approaching the point in this country where we don't have enough engineers? I mean, a lot of people are retiring, the population is aging, and it doesn't seem like we're training enough engineers. Do you see that point as well?
Absolutely. I think there's a huge shift. Back in the 90s, it was oil and gas, oil and gas, oil and gas. And then now you have IT coming in, you have coding, you have robotics, you have gaming, you have AI. And so now we have to pivot as a culture, as a country. We have to pivot in order to make sure that we're prepared for, I would say, to compete globally. Because you have a lot of countries, my dissertation is based off of this. You have a lot of countries that are 10, 12 years ahead of us. According to research, they've been doing these things. And so now it's how can we level the playing field so that our students can be successful and be competitive on a global scale?
One thing about HCC that I'm certainly proud of is we reach out to the community and bring in middle school students and also high school students and put them in these summer camps to teach them the coding. We've got the Apple Swift coding, and I mean, I guess it's important to get out there when students are younger to let them know of the job opportunities. And guess what? You don't have to have a 4-year degree to be very successful and make the big dollars in this industry.
Correct. One of the biggest things, first, I owe a lot to HCC because HCC loved me when, to help me figure out exactly what I wanted to do. And just to kind of shout out HCC, it is a great place wherever you are in your life to be able to figure things out. HCC helped me to pivot and make me believe that this is possible. I was sitting on small business judging panels with my peers and then also high school and middle school students. So it's huge to know that you have a complete community college system that is behind you, and they look like the demographic. That is huge. Right. And that's what I feel sets Houston Community College aside from everyone else. Not that I'm biased, but, I do believe that it's important to have students that are younger. I think when they're in high school, nothing wrong with reaching out to them, but it may be a little too late. Some are already jaded. Some have already had this notion of they can't do it, and you want to make sure that you sow those seeds at a young age. So this year I was the STEM lab coordinator for Stafford. And we worked with kids that were pre-K and kindergarten. Another misconception is that they can't do. Yeah, so I taught them robotics. I taught them coding. We talked about STEM careers where they could tell me they wanted to be engineers. And it was, it brought tears to my eyes because these kids, they may not remember my name, but they'll remember the seeds that we planted. We had STEM doctor days. They did a gardening day. They were environmental engineers building a bridge for Humpty Dumpty. So things like that needs to be happening everywhere because that is the ground floor. That is STEM in action.
And, it's amazing. I've got a grandson who's 3 years old, and he can pick up a laptop or pick up a cell phone, get what he wants out of it. And he's not, a lot of times not even completing full sentences, but he can get that in. I remember when I was in high school, I had to take typing class, to learn how to type. These kids are just picking it up. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to get at, it seems to me that even though, we don't give kids enough credit, they can take on that coding and learn it quicker than adults can. Are you seeing that as well?
Absolutely. My kids actually did coding using Codable. And it helps them to understand, like the if-then statement to try to figure out how things are supposed to go. But it really empowered them to do more. Kids those students at that age, they may not be able to define, maybe comprehend, the big concepts, but they can create, they can synthesize, and they can analyze. They are always having these big active imaginations, and we played. What we did was pretend and play. I put myself as if I was 5 years old for 9 months. We were rolling on the floor. We were putting blocks together. We were, lab technicians and stuff like that, because that is where I saw light bulbs coming on. And then they were telling me, Miss Materre, I'm a scientist. Miss Materre, that's a doctor. That's a this. So you want them to use those things, and put them together. So I definitely think with your grandson, that is one of the things you need to download for sure. And it'll take him through everything you need.
I'll get his dad on that. You have a term called STEM at home. What do you mean by that?
So during the summertime, we always see a lot of regressing with our students just because they're tired, we're tired, And so taking STEM at home, it could be cooking. I love that the chef was here. It's serendipitous because the chef was on here. She's a kitchen engineer. You have recipes, you're putting things together, you're brainstorming, you're going and fixing things when your recipe doesn't go right. You put too much sugar, too much salt, you have to fix things. It's moments like that. That's STEM at home. My dad was huge on helping me. I love building things with my dad. So I have a toolkit that is just as big as his. And it's those moments that really help students to be able to embrace that. So I encourage all parents, grab some science experiments, some materials, something simple, and be able to work with STEM with your students. You would be surprised at what could happen if you create 20, 30-minute activities for them.
And speaking of those activities, are there free resources that people can find online?
Absolutely. I mean, you have a lot of people say teachers use Pinterest a lot, but we do for those activities. I think you should go to Pinterest. You can Google, I think it's about 20 or 30 different exercises. They have books for 8 to 12, I think 4 to 7 of all activities you can do. And I want to shout out the STEM Academy by I cannot think of her name at the moment. Oh my gosh. With LJ, but she has a STEM Academy and she has a lot of great STEM home kits that you guys can use as well that are great appropriate for our younger students. So yes.
Amanda, we're going to have all your information and have some links in our social media posts, but we appreciate you being here and continued success in getting out there, because I do feel it's very important to reach kids when they are younger to get them on the right path. And it sounds like that's what your goal is.
Absolutely. And if I may, I know that there's a trend towards cybersecurity and AI and DevOps and coding. I would encourage you guys to go to Google Coursera, get some of those courses and certificates, because as you said, you don't need a degree for some of these things. Right. It's just a certificate, and it's a perfect way to switch, transition. It could change your entire life. In about 2 years, I feel like the industry is going to be saturated because it's a buzzword right now.
Yeah.
But definitely get on the ground floor and at least try it. So yes, absolutely. And I'm so happy to be here again. Thank you so much, Todd.
Thanks, Amanda. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Absolutely.
All right. We've got a few announcements before we wrap up today's show. One of them, top challenges to overcome for fempreneurs. That's right. It can seem like a good time for women to start a business, but some may lack the confidence to take risks. This is a virtual series with some tips. Check it out, noon to 1:30 p.m., Wednesday, July the 26th. That's tomorrow. It's a hybrid course. We'll have registration information in our post after the show. And also, there's a college and community fair at HCC's Northwest College. It's at the Spring Branch campus, 9 a.m. to noon, Thursday, July 27th. Now, this is a way to help students and prospective students with everything they need to enroll at HCC. You can talk about registration. You can get information on financial aid, meet with advisors, tour the campus, all that stuff, all in one day. So make sure you check that out. SCORE, remember them? They've got some free workshops where they're joining up with HCC's and entrepreneurial initiatives, offering another free workshop to learn more about the business end of business. It's from 1 to 3 p.m., Thursday, August the 3rd at the Missouri City campus. Check our post after the show with registration information. Instagram One College exhibition. Now, Instagram is continuing to serve as a gallery walls for an exhibition of studio classes from HCC colleges, but that gallery closes next month. Check it out now. It's available through August the 14th. Of course, it's free. We'll have a link in our post where you can join them. Virtual information sessions. Now, if you're going to attend HCC or register for classes, the goal is to get you educated about how we do things. Well, your higher education journey can be intimidating, but HCC is hosting virtual information sessions to assist students get registered for the fall. HCC admission advisors will help students apply, secure eligible financial aid, and so much more. Check our post after the show for more details. Speaking of registration, all right, we're already talking fall 2023. That is upon us right now. Summer sessions are already underway. You can't register for summer sessions, but you can register for the fall. You want to make sure you do so ahead of time. Don't wait till the last minute. We have 5 ways to learn. Online anytime. Basically, you download the class, you take it at your leisure, and complete it on your own. There's also online on a schedule where you join in at a live time or at a scheduled time each day, or however the class would go. You can interact with your instructor, your classmates, and it's still virtual. We also have hybrid and hybrid labs, which means you've got some virtual sessions and some in person. Those are available. And if you just would like to take classes the old-fashioned way, in person, on a campus, those are available as well. 5 ways to learn, 1 website to do so. It's hccs.edu/apply. Okay, tomorrow on the show, Wednesday, this week is moving by, Dr. Philip Nicotera, president of Coleman College, will discuss the new Bachelor of Applied Science. That's right, a 4-year degree in healthcare management, one of the first 2 bachelor degrees here at HCC. And for Small Business Wednesday, we'll have one of the winners of the business plan competition called Keeping Your Parents Safe for the Aging Population. All that and more tomorrow on Up to the Minute. We're going to take off for the rest of the day, or we'll end the show for right now. We'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. live right here. We'll see you then.